Would you describe yourself as a Beatles fan?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, anyone that picks up a guitar, you got to be.
Yes. Because at some stages, sort of certainly in the 70s and to an extent the 80s, you almost had to reject the Beatles because the influence was overpowering.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I can understand the reaction, you know, as sort of punk came along. I can understand why it was like, you know, sort of out, you know, everything that came before, you know, doesn't exist. But sort of, you know, seeing it now from where I am, looking back, you know, it's just below. The amount of tunes they wrote, I mean, in every member, it's just, you can't even get my head around it. It's just unbelievable.
What about the idea of the impact that they would have? Because it must be a dream in a way, the impact they had, because they were pretty much the first on the world itself, you know, literally everything, appearance, sound, you know, cultural, social. It's never going to happen again.
No, there's nothing will ever come close. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things, this mad moment in history, like a sort of meteor hitting Earth, you know, it just, I mean, it wouldn't, yeah. I don't really say, you know, it's hard to explain.
And what kind of impact does it have on you forming a group, you know, in terms of, I mean, it's almost like they almost defined how a group should look in terms of the you know what I mean, the consistency of the look.
Definitely.
And you have it, you know, your group has it.
The attitude.
You look like a group.
You're
a group of young guys that are clearly on a mission.
Get yourself a million miles from this concrete jungle.
And in a way that came from, I mean, others would have done it, but they did it first.
Yeah, we've done press conferences. By no means any, you know, but we know we try and copy. You take, you know, how they had their banter and they, you know, they just, you know, being America and, you know, and there's moments where you feel like the Beatles, you know, pretend to be the Beatles. Moments in Japan where it's very different sort of hysteria and you're running into cars and you sort of do the Beatles walk and stuff. You know? But it's true. I mean, yeah, everything really.
Because it was the humour, wasn't it, as well, and where they came from.
I know, yeah.
Folded into it.
I mean, those early interviews are just so funny. I mean, John Lennon's just kills me, and but he's so dark, really. I mean, he's such a dark humour. I mean, he wrote some, you know, is it Love? Yeah, and it's one of the most beautiful, perfect love songs, but also equally, he's one of the most darkest people out there, you know.
Choosing a Beatles song to cover, it's like, which one are you going to do? So why I Am So Tired?
It's just something we just picked up when we've been sort of, me, you know, in a band since I was 15, and it was just one of those early ones we just kind of picked up on and just started playing in my bedroom. Yeah. You know, Mum handing us cups of teas and just playing, you know, Beatles songs. That was kind of one that Tom always loved to sing, you know.
And what is it like, you know, doing a Beatles song? Do you have to do it kind of almost indifferently, or do you think, oh my God, we're going to do a Beatles song?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, I didn't realise, you know, it's quite silly really. It's a big thing to take on, isn't it? You know, I think we just because we'd done it when we were 15, we just sort of, it's one of those ones we didn't really know many covers. It's like, oh, we'll throw that in, and then like, yeah, you're right. Actually, thinking about it, it's probably think that one next time.
Is there a more direct way you feel the Beatles have had an impact on what you do?
The fact that they were huge, you know, the fact that they were, you know, this huge band, you know, everyone loved, and they weren't frightened to just completely start again and you know, like and be completely ambitious. I mean, not only were they the best, not only were the biggest, but they just, you know, went, right, okay, we're into this now. We're going to go down this road, and every album, the tones are so different, so diverse. Not one, you know, it's not like, oh, we're into this phase. It's, you know, I suppose having, you know, 4 writers, but they just weren't frightened, never were, and they didn't feel like they had to be the Beatles. They just went, right, this is who we are now, you know. They didn't they didn't feel like they had to please everyone.
So how do you do it then? How do you do it now? When in a way, by making a noise like you make, in a way, because we're kind of used to it now, it's very difficult for it to come associated with the changes that such a thing would have happened in the 60s and 70s. You know, a new pop group making a new kind of noise, it changed everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas now you can be quite extreme, you can be radical, you can make a hell of a noise, hell of a racket, you can sing about dark things. But in a sense, you know, we're used to it, aren't we?
Yeah. Become immune to it, yeah. It's really hard to capture people's attention for longer than, you know, 30 seconds. So I still think there are a lot of, you know, people, there's a younger generation that maybe have not been exposed, you know, not seen it, and and maybe that we're sort of act as the as the sort of portal to show them where we come from. But I think but it's weird. I think that it needs to happen again. I think we are quite prudish. I think it has got I think like TV shows now, and like you'd be watching and waiting for something to happen. I think that's that even that's now gone. Even like the live TV show.
Yeah.
So I think, I think it needs. Although it's all been done before and seen before, I think there is a time where it needs someone to just break the glass again and go, whoa, you know, making an album and trying to make it exciting and different and being ambitious. And praying that there'll be a live TV show again out there for at least just for 5 minutes, someone just to cause some sort.
So you need to create equivalent kind of happenings with everything that's happened now. Now there seems to be so much opportunity to distribute something, and yet less opportunity to distribute something that causes a phenomenon like the Beatles would done, because it was almost like everyone was looking at the same place at the same time.
Yeah, totally. And I don't think. For a lot of people, I don't think music's as important as it used to be. I don't think it is everything. I don't think, my favourite, Monday morning, the bands are going to release this single. I've got to be at the shop to go and get it, and I might not even get one. I'm that desperate, so I'm going to have to go around to mates to listen to it. I mean, that's just like it's out and it's on your computer and you listen to it for 30 seconds. And if you're not interested in 30 seconds, you throw it away. And I think that's a shame, but I think that's kind of where it's gone.
Just wondering about the rock band game.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that the Beatles catalogue is sort of, it's almost like that was its sole purpose, rather depressingly, that it becomes fuel for a game.
It's mad, isn't it, that?
Yeah, what is it like as a guitar player to see the idea that people are sort of pressing a lever and pressing coloured switches and acting as if they're participating in
It's just such a the idea that kids, and I can't, if I was a kid and someone, these things of, just think, God, there's a guy people are just not going to want to play guitar. They're going to actually, because it's so instant, like within an hour you could get the hang of thinking you're playing a Beatles song, when in actual fact if you picked up a guitar it'd take you about 5 years to be able to play anywhere near as good as those, and that dedication and that learning of an instrument, it's like, wow, that's quite a scary thought. I mean, I'm sure the game would be great, but it just shows you where we're going with music. It's pretty weird.
It is weird, isn't it? Although it is interesting that the Beatles are there again. As everything changes radically, they pop up again.
And probably will be the biggest selling game of all time.
Yeah.
And madly enough.
Yeah. So what's the best that you hope you can achieve?
Well, I sort of see it very simple. As long as we get paid to play guitar, then that's kind of the best I can. That's for me is everything. That's like as long as I've not got to go to work again, and someone is gonna, like if I've got an idea, someone's gonna go, yeah, we can do it. Go and do it. And that's it really. I mean that's me happy forever.